Hi, it's Kim DuBrule coming to you in that in-between time between the holidays and New Year's Day. And it's just kind of a neat time, a little lull in between. Glad you're watching this and hopefully reading my newsletter. And if you don't subscribe to my newsletter, please go to my website, Kimberly Dubrul, DUBRUL.com, and sign up. So the in-between time, I gave you some book suggestions, and I've got a free call coming up on the day before New Year's, not quite New Year's Eve because it's the morning of New Year's Eve. I guess it's still technically New Year's Eve. And each year it grows with a number of great people on it. And I have some new ideas to share this year because we're not just talking about a new year, it's the 20s. We're coming up on the 20s. It's a new decade. And there is a lot to think about, thinking about where I was 10 years ago. Even thinking about 20 years ago when it was the year 2000. Can you guys believe that was 20 years ago? It's crazy. And I'm noticing a difference in the types of goals I'm setting now as opposed to the ones I set 10 years ago and 20 years ago. And I'm putting myself up to some big goals for inner work, personal growth stuff that I'm just really ready for this year. And that's just all there is to it. So for all of us, remember, no beating yourself up. You know, when you're ready to make changes, you'll make the changes, and the right people show up around you to guide you. And that has certainly happened for me throughout my life, and I have so much gratitude for that. One of the things I'm going to work on is really focusing at a higher level on gratitude and not complaining about things. And when I start to complain about something, it's insidious, right? I mean, I think I don't complain a lot, but then when I listen to myself and, you know, any friend who happens to ask, so how's it going? What's going on? And, you know, I just give them the whole download, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just kind of tired of hearing myself talk about some certain things. So that's going to be a fun challenge. And at the same time, being nice to myself when I goof up, because I know I have habits and they're ingrained, and I'm going to keep doing stuff the same old way sometimes because I won't be mindful 24/7 because I'm a human being just like you are. So working on not taking things too hard, you know, really getting hurt by things, and sometimes people do things that are hurtful, and it's just because that's where they're at in their life, and I'm working on having more understanding of that, and just being nicer to myself about things like that, and not letting it throw me off track. Anyway, one thing that I love doing at the end of every year is a review. So I still have a paper appointment book where I handwrite in all my appointments. And if you don't do that, it's fine. You can take out your phone or wherever you kept your schedule all year long and just take a look and see all the things that you did this year, just taking an inventory of, wow, I was with all these people, I did these things. It's really swooping through and looking for all of the things you did, and reminding yourself of successes. That was the day I dared to reach out to that person. That was the day I made breakfast, and it was great. You know, you might not have all these things written down in your book, but it will jog things as you're looking through, and just handwrite out a list of all of those things. Like I have my list right here. Like some of the best things that I remember were events that I went to with people who I love. And we have this place, E.B. Strong's. It's a great steakhouse, and it's really special. So when we go there, we're usually celebrating things. So I was remembering that. I was remembering that I love, you know, having my nephew Cameron over, and he's like part of our family now because he lives in the area, and I'm so proud of him. And I have really loved going to New York City a bunch to see our daughter this year, and I even did some stuff by myself and had some really good breakthroughs, and more coming in 2020 from me in New York City, which I'll be sharing. So anyway, it's just it's fun. I have this long list. I wrote a long list of all the things that I just enjoyed about 2020. Lastly, I just want to say, look for just a couple little things that always make you feel good. This is the weirdest thing, and I've shared this before, but when I go through the car wash wash and my car is clean and I fill up the tank with gas, I just feel so happy. I guess I feel like I could go anywhere. Not that I'm driving home most of the time when I do that, or to the office, one way or the other. But it just makes me feel really good. The inside and outside of my car clean, tank full of gas. Feels like, things are under control. And the last thing that I'll encourage all of you, no matter where you live, and it's harder as it gets colder in Vermont, and I make myself do it anyway, it's to get outside if I start to feel frustrated, overwhelmed, stuck, any of those feelings that we feel. Nature is the answer. I just want to sell you on that if you haven't already sold yourself, and I know lots of you already have, but just remembering to just walk outside, even if it's for a few minutes. It's a game changer, a state changer. So I just want to share a couple things on the newsletter. Please check out all the things I have going on. I hope that you will join me in some of those. And if you aren't following me on Instagram or Facebook, I do try to post valuable things in those places. I love taking pictures. That's really one of my other joys. So I share what I think is beautiful, what I see that's beautiful and enjoyable, and just real stuff that I like. So I want to share it with you. Hope to hear from you, and Happy New Year, happy decade 2020. Here we come. Thanks for getting to the end of this video. It was much longer than I expected, but I appreciate you, and I'm here to support you and to cheer you on at any time. So always reach out. Have a great one. Bye.